Hello YouTube, RC67 coming at you here tonight. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about the history of the Corvette, just some general things about it, as well as just kind of show some of the Corvettes that I have in my collection. I have quite an extensive collection of them, varying in the makes and the models of the various manufacturers of the Hot Wheels that I have. Hot Wheels, Greenlight, the Giant Lightnings. I'm going to throw a few of those up there, just as we're talking about the Corvette. The history of the Corvette started in 1953. It was the C1. It was the first body style. This went from 1953 to 1967. First production came off the line in June of 1953 out of Flint, Michigan. Later, into 54, they moved the production line for the Corvette down into St. Louis, Missouri. Some things through the 50s and early 60s with the C1 model. They introduced a small V8 package in 1955, which put out about 265 to 275 horsepower on a little small V8 engine. 56, they did a little restyling on the headlights, and they had removable hard tops. In 57, they had a little 4-speed with fuel injection on the Corvette as well. And then you get into the body style change in 1963. And that was when they introduced the split window, which was the first year of the car. One right there. This was the first year. This was the only year that a car was made with a split window. And they only made 199 of these, actually. And it was eliminated in 1964. And the reason for the elimination was that they thought it was an obstruction to the driver while driving the car. They kept this body style throughout most of the 60s. They just obviously beefed up the engine a little bit. You got a little bit bigger V8 with 425 horsepower. 66, they introduced the 427 cubic inch engine. In 68, they had an option of the Z88 package, and going on into 67 as well. Then in 1968, they introduced the C3 body style change. And this one here, they had another redesign of the car. And the redesign of the car was that to make it look kind of like a Mako shark. And here's one to show you what it looks like. And they had a little redesign. It kind of looked like a Mako shark, so it had real long lines, but that was the whole goal, was make it look like that. 69, they introduced the ZR1 package. In 1970, they introduced a ZT1 package, and these are just basic engine styles that offered various horsepowers and so forth like that. Getting into the earlier part of the 70s, in 72, in this body style, they had the last year of the chrome bumpers in 1972. That went to the bumper guards, those rubber bumper guards. And those maintained that way all the way until about the mid to late 70s. In 1977, there were 500,000 Corvettes that had been produced at that time, and the 500,000th Corvette rolled off the St. Louis, Missouri line in 1977. This production line continued on until about 1981, when they ended up moving production of the Corvette over to Bowling Green, Kentucky. And they continue to produce Corvettes to this day over there. In 1984, C4 line was introduced. And that line there, you saw another body style change. Still kind of in the shape that we're still familiar with the Corvette style. But again, we had also had to deal with more emissions, and they didn't quite have as much horsepower. And we know that the body look or the design of the 80s was not the greatest years for the Corvette. So the C4 body style was not their greatest years of the Corvette. In 1997, the C5, which is the new body style that came out, and this went out from 1997 to 2004. And that body style was a little bit more popular. It reintroduced a little bit more horsepower to the cars, had a bit better styling. Again, they had the ZR1 package and the Z08 packages and things like that with the engine styles. In 2005 to 2013, they had the C6 packages come out. In 2014 to 2019, we had the C7s. And then here's one from the 2000s. And then in 2018 to current, we have the C8. which is more of that. They're actually getting kind of that European lifestyle looking type of a Corvette. Really nice looking style. It's got great body lines. It's got a lot of horsepower with it as well. Anyway, that's some of the history of the Corvette, but I do want to show you a few of the Corvettes that I have in my collection. Like I said, I've been collecting Corvettes for many, many years now. And it goes back to this is a 1965 black convertible Corvette. I have in my collection. I really like this car. It's one of my favorite cars. And then I have a 1963. This is another split window that I have. I really like that one. Another 63 here, just with gold on it. Then I have a 1977, which again, that kind of has that longer body style lines on it. And then I got a few others that are like that. But anyway, I was hoping you guys would enjoy the video, like it or comment on it if you would. If you have some other history about the Corvette that you would like to add in there, please add below. Thank you very much. This is RC67 signing off.